Mr. Dorsey, your platform allows foreign dictators to post propaganda, typically without restriction, yet you routinely restrict the President of the United States. And here's an example. In March, a spokesman for the Chinese Communist Party falsely accused the U.S. military of causing the coronavirus epidemic. He tweeted, quote, "CDC was caught on the spot. When did patient zero begin in the U.S.? How many people are infected? What are the names of the hospitals? It might be the U.S. Army who brought the epidemic to Wuhan," and on and on. After this tweet was up for some 2 months, Twitter added a fact-check label to this tweet after being up for 2 months. However, when President Trump tweeted about how mail-in ballots are vulnerable to fraud, a statement that I subscribe to and agree with, and a statement that is in fact true, Twitter immediately imposed a fact-check label on that tweet. Mr. Dorsey, how does a claim by Chinese communists that the U.S. military is to blame for COVID remain up for 2 months without a fact check, and the President's tweet about security of mail-in ballots get labeled instantly?
Well, first and foremost, as you mentioned, we did label that tweet. As we think about enforcement, we consider severity of potential offline harm, and we act as quickly as we can. We have taken action against tweets from world leaders all around the world, including the President. And we did take action on that tweet because we saw it. We saw the confusion it might encourage, and we labeled it accordingly. And the goal with our labeling—
You're speaking of the President's tweet?
Yes.
Okay.
The goal of our labeling is to provide more context, to connect the dots so that people can have more information so they can make decisions for themselves. We've created these policies recently. We are enforcing them. There are certainly things that we can do much faster, but generally we believe that the policy was enforced in a timely manner and in the right regard.
And yet you seem to have no objection to a tweet by the Chinese Communist Party saying the U.S. Army brought the epidemic to Wuhan.
Well, we did, and we labeled that tweet,
It
providing
took you
more
2 months to
information.
do so, is that correct?
I'm not sure of the exact time frame, but we can get back to you on that.
So you're going to get back to us as to how a tweet from the Chinese Communist Party falsely accusing the U.S. military of causing the coronavirus epidemic was left up for 2 months with no comment from Twitter, while the President of the United States making a statement about being careful about about ballot security with the mail was labeled immediately.